Language learning isn't only about knowing words, because words don't always mean what they seem. Meaning isn't shared until it's built together. Pick up. Pretty simple English, right? Except it can have 15 to 20 distinct meanings. Expressions like figure out, give up, and pick up sound easy, but for English learners, they're often invisible traps. My research asks a simple question. How do students learn meanings that aren't explicitly bound in the words themselves? In classrooms, English learners often recognize these expressions, but can't use them. Teachers notice this gap, but we don't always know what to do about it. We explain, we define, or we move on. But language doesn't live in explanations or definitions. It lives in interaction. My research examines English learners and their teachers as they negotiate meaning and context, focusing on phrasal verbs, expressions like pick up, as in picking up a new language. In that utterance, the word new quietly does all of the work. It tells us whose knowledge is changing, and it forces the meaning of pick up to shift from literal to non-literal. Over and over, I saw that learners avoided phrasal verbs not because they didn't know the words, but because they weren't yet engaging with how these words are used culturally to make meaning. Learning a code doesn't always mean knowing how it's used. What I've found is that understanding doesn't improve simply because teachers explain more. It improves when teachers and students notice confusion together, pause, and rebuild meaning step by step, using all of their available resources like examples, gestures, shared experiences, and reformulations. As expressions become less literal, interaction takes longer, and it becomes much more important. And this tells us something powerful. Language learning isn't just exposure, it's coordination and alignment. When teachers treat misunderstanding as a joint problem, not as a student failure, students don't just learn phrases, they learn how meaning works. My research shows that when meaning is made visible through interaction, language learning becomes richer and words become more. Not because students hear more words, but because they learn how to mean the same thing.